the leading cause of death among Americans, and now there's potentially a new drug that could give us a new treatment for heart disease. The drug lowers so-called bad cholesterol, but unlike statins, which are pills, patients would inject the new drug once or twice a month. Then there's the price tag, also a consideration. It's projected to be about $10,000 a year per patient for as long as they live. Some say it's so high and could impact so many patients, it may impact healthcare premiums for everyone. Dr. David Cider is a cardiologist with the University Hospital's Case Medical Center. Great to have you on the program, Dr. Cider, as we will wait to see if the FDA will approve this drug today and tomorrow. They're looking at it for these both days. Why is it so significant? What is it about this new drug, this new injectable, that could be a game changer?
Hi, and thank you for having us. So this is potentially a game changer. You know, in cardiology, our main villain is still cholesterol. We still battle cholesterol. Our patients battle cholesterol. We have several good drugs, but we really haven't had anything that in the last 24 to 25 years that has really been a breakthrough. Other drugs can lower cholesterol, and some of those drugs actually don't lead to reduced heart attacks and help people live longer. So there's certainly a lot about cholesterol that we don't understand. These new agents, though, really appear to be much more effective than other drugs at lowering the cholesterol. They can lower the cholesterol by 40 to 60%, even on top of other medicines.
Wow. So that's a lot. I mean, we've known that statins have been in use since the late 1980s. This could be the first really new thing to treat the bad cholesterol in a long time. Why is it so expensive?
So it's a couple of things. Any new medicine, of course, is going to be expensive due to the cost that it takes to develop a new therapy. These medicines, though, are they're built as a protein, really kind of what we call an antibody. And it's similar to other newer cancer drugs, where you can get very specific targeting of the protein and the target of interest. But it comes at a cost. It comes through manufacturing in a different way, and and that certainly becomes costly. It also can only be administered right now, at least via a shot, as you allude to. So it's a different formulation and really potentially a paradigm shift, really, in cardiovascular disease care.
Is it worth it? And that's a tough question, right? Is it worth it? Of course, if you're someone that's suffering from heart disease, you want all options available to you to treat this. You certainly want to live a long and healthy life. But that is a question that's coming up as we're reading more about this, doctor, about whether or not it's worth it to put this drug on the market when it is so expensive compared to statins, which might cost you $200, $250 a year, and whether or not it's worth the treatment to come on now, the impact it'll truly have on patients, as well as the rest of us who are shouldering some of the healthcare costs as well.
No, absolutely. I think all of us share the real-life implications, but I think we just don't know enough yet, to be quite honest. What we have are combinations of smaller trials, which in aggregate look optimistic, but we're a long way away from having definitive trials which show that these drugs save lives and reduce heart attacks. Those trials are coming. They're already enrolling. They're well on the way. And so really what we see is the FDA, I think, addressing this earlier rather than later, which is always good. But I think there's much more we need to know, and we will know.
Let me ask you this one question before we leave. I know you alluded to this as well in a previous answer, but this was in the Associated Press, one of the final lines in this article about cholesterol. Said this: several cases in the last decades have shown that lowering cholesterol does not always translate into real benefits for patients. So I'm curious about why the emphasis on this, continuing to lower cholesterol, when maybe not everyone is convinced that is the key to curing heart disease.
Well, that's a terrific question. And that gets at, I think a lot of us who do research recognize that we don't understand everything about heart disease. That having been said, some of these early trials really are much more promising than some of the other earlier trials in other drug classes. So I think that there absolutely should be reason for optimism. If you're a patient, you should be very optimistic that further advances down the line might become available to you. But I think you're right to place this in the context of, our health system is an important piece to this. I think it's clear that we don't know everything, but I think the pieces are in place to really expand this knowledge gap And I think it'll become clearer which patients benefit most, and how that impacts the hospital systems will be an important feature to this.
We'll see what the FDA
forward.
does today. They're voting on one drug from one drug company today, one tomorrow as well, and we'll be off from there. But we'll end with some optimism, Doctor. I always like to do that, at least with these health segments, as so much is at stake. Great to have your expertise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.